After staying in Badlands National Park for 24 hours, we took off and headed for the southern portion of the Black Hills, and I'm going to review that stay for you here. On our recent trip out west, my wife and I had a nice time in the Black Hills of South Dakota. We stayed at Rafter J-Bar Ranch Campground, which is very near Hill City that we're touring here, and it's also very close to the Mount Rushmore Monument. It's only about 10 minutes to 12 minutes from the Crazyhorse Monument in Custer, South Dakota, and also very close to Custer State Park, as well as to Rapid City, which was about 30 minutes away. Hill City is a great little town with beautiful attractions like the Smokey Bear sculpture you see here that are quite interesting, that greets you as you enter the town here. And then, of course, there's also all the attractions like the aforementioned Crazyhorse Monument, which was a pretty neat thing to see. Our campsite at Rafter J-Bar Ranch was really convenient to everything. You see here, convenient to downtown Rapid City, where there were statues at each corner of all the existing presidents through Barack Obama. There's no current statue for President Trump at this point in time, or President Biden until after he leaves office. They were neat to see, and it had me wondering silly things like, were John Adams, James Monroe, and James Madison all really this small? Or, even more curious, was Lyndon Johnson's head actually this big? And it was interesting to find out that Washington likes to hang out in front of Starbucks, and why Jimmy Carter's out there waiting for a fellow Georgian to give him a high five. The southern Black Hills are just beautiful and something you really don't want to miss with, of course, Mount Rushmore being there. It's very inspiring as an American, as is the Crazyhorse Monument, which is a tribute to all Native Americans that's currently underway in 80 years of development now, and I'm hoping they make some more progress on it. But there's also a very neat museum there that tells you a lot about what went on in a film that really kind of fills in the gaps for you, plays there as well throughout the day. It's definitely worth the visit. And here we have a view high up in Custer State Park. After a rainy morning, and you can see the cloud cover and the sunbeams shining through the clouds there off in the distance. Should be getting ready to clear up a little bit today. Well, it didn't clear up until the afternoon, but that didn't prevent us from seeing a bunch of wildlife like the buffalo you see here. We were also able to spot this wild turkey along the roadside, and we even saw some pronghorn, although we didn't quite see these guys running. We did see some later on our trip as we were heading through Wyoming, and they were at near full sprint alongside the car. Unfortunately, we didn't get out the camera quick enough to film. Custer State Park, we look up on the hill there, all those little black dots. Those are all a herd of bison. It was tough to film due to the wind that morning, but we were able to see thousands of buffalo like the ones you see here. It was approximately a week before the Great Buffalo Roundup, and if we had it to do over, I might adjust our trip so that we could come for that event. In addition to the buffalo, we also saw some of these, I don't know if they were mules or burros, that were just hanging out, hanging around. And then we took our truck for a little bit of a drive, and we saw this guy here. That big guy we saw walking there was walking right near the fence where there's parking for the annual Buffalo Roundup. And just across from there is a little nondescript road called Red Valley Road. It's unmarked, but it takes you into Wind Cave National Park through a great ride that you'll probably do on your own on this washboard road. So here I am taking my Tundra to Wind Cave National Park from Custer State Park, with the most nondescript entrance into a national park that I've ever seen. Again, it was tough to record that morning because of all the wind, but here you can see the beautiful grassland landscape across Wind Cave National Park as we've entered it, and some of the beautiful sights we saw along this washboard road. Going down the road in Wind Cave, you can see we got buffalo just camped out right in front of us here. Looks like a mama and a baby, so we're gonna have to wait. Whole herd of buffalo here at Wind Cave. Well, after lunch, the skies did clear up, and we were able to take in some of the other beautiful parts of the southern Black Hills, including looking out over Sylvan Lake here, and took a nice hike there, and then went and drove the Needles Highway. Drove through the Needles Eye Tunnel with our...
Oh, this isn't right.
With our mirrors pulled in. Of course, you could hear the beeping. I had to turn off my parking sensors to make it through the tunnel without the constant beeping. I also pulled the mirrors in, and then as you go through the tunnel, you have to be patient and wait sometimes because frequently there are vehicles coming the other direction. But when you make it out of the tunnel, there are some beautiful views on the other side to take in of the Black Hills. Later that evening, we went sightseeing in Keystone, South Dakota, and saw this beautiful Shelby Cobra parked outside a pizza place. On the second floor, we decided we had to go inside and have some pizza, and it was wonderful. And then after pizza, we went out for the ceremonial lighting of the monument at Mount Rushmore, and it was great. It was a beautiful ceremony. Unfortunately, a little bit anticlimactic because the federal government isn't allowing them to do the fireworks during the pandemic, but nonetheless, it was very impressive and we enjoyed it tremendously. The next day, we decided before we were leaving and heading up to the northern part of the Black Hills and Spearfish Canyon, we wanted to do the drive down Iron Mountain Road. Now, Iron Mountain Road's an interesting road because it doesn't seem to make any sense. There are 3 pigtails in it, but the reason for those pigtails is so that you can drive through these tunnels, and as you're going through these tunnels in 3 different directions, every one of them tends to frame Mount Rushmore just like this. So, another beautiful drive while we were in the Black Hills. Well, that ended this portion of our trip to the southern Black Hills, and so now it was time to head up to the northern Black Hills and Spearfish Canyon and see what we could come up with there. A lot of neat stuff there, some very interesting things to do, and we'll show that one to you in the next video.